Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
Hey. It's another episode of the Sleazy Podcast. I'm your host, Sleazy. This is episode 148 of the Sleazy Podcast. And this is the last episode of the year. And we are Robzilla-less tonight.
He's out stuck on one of those Southwest airline flights, isn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got canceled. But yeah, I got Mr. PBS here as always. Not really, but
as usual.
He was late as usual. And then joining us from the Chicagoland area is Hot Sauce.
Oh, I'm here.
Looking like he's out on a cruise or something.
Yeah,
I'm out on Lake Michigan celebrating the new year.
Good for you. I'm glad. It's a nice.
I'm on a lifeboat. I'm drifting and bobbing through the water.
One of those little paddle boats.
Yeah. Little kayaks are huge around here. Apparently, everybody likes getting their kayaks out.
That's a big thing now. Kayak.
Is it?
Yeah. Like if you are in the dating area and you're browsing, there's three things that all girls will like: tacos, margaritas, and kayaking. So if you like those, chances are you won't be single for very long.
That sounds like it could be statistical data.
Very. I should start, checking it every time I see it. But so this is the last episode of the year, like I said. How was everybody's Christmas while we're at it?
It was nice.
Nice. What'd Santa bring you?
3 days off.
3 days off. That's it.
3 days off where I didn't have to worry about any of that weather.
How in the world did you manage that?
Just luck. I think it's sort of karma because I feel like last winter I had to work like every morning. It was bad.
Right.
So this year I got at least a couple of them off.
How about you, Hot Sauce? What'd Santa bring you?
I picture him as a saving all my fucking time till the last 2 weeks of the year kind of guy. I think that's how he probably got 3 days off.
Could be.
Is that what he did? Did you save all your time off?
No, just 3 regular days. I used most of my days in like October.
You were off Friday, Saturday, and then the
Sunday was
holiday.
Christmas, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, most of my extra days are used up by October.
So what'd Santa bring you, Hot Sauce?
I'm gonna take his background off. I'm gonna come in off the lake real quick. Hang on.
He's gotta come off the lake.
There we go. Let's piss some people off with that one.
You could be like the guy that has the green screen and just goes around and does stupid shit.
Oh yeah, does like work job interviews and Zoom meetings and stuff with a green screen.
He was in like a UFC fight or whatever, an MMA fight, and he got knocked out. He's on like a Teams meeting or something.
Oh yeah.
But I got a toolkit for my 3D printer that I got to set up back here. That's what this is. The boxes are slowly getting sorted and vanishing because I need to get a desk set up back there. And then we had joked about me not working and not doing anything. So I said it'd be kind of cool to like flying a what?
Like we joked about it. Like,
yeah. To get a pilot's license. So she bought me a beginner pilot license class for me to go fly a plane. And
don't fly that thing into the Sears building, man.
No, I'll stay far away from downtown.
Some article's going to pull up about local man flies into building. Don't be hot sauce.
Right. If it comes out of the Joliet Regional Airport, look out.
Yeah, we're like, we haven't heard from Hot Sauce lately. Then we'll see that post like he was a terrorist.
Checking the Tribune and the Sun Times, and you see that Joliet man flies airplane. Like, oh shit.
I have to take some questions. What was wrong with him? We don't know. He hadn't worked in some time. Maybe that was it.
His hair was growing out, looked all crazy and shit. And
local unemployed man.
He was radicalized. That's what it was.
Is that it?
He went down some internet rabbit holes.
Yeah. He was a big proponent against not getting vaccinated.
They'd have some good stories, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Reporting has it that he was harassed over his untidy room until he just snapped one day.
That could be it as well.
Internet bullying got to him.
Internet bullying.
Internet bullying, cyber bullying. This is a cyber bully support group I'm gonna have to join and talk it out.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I got a couple Buckeye hats, and I got one of those Groove Life belts. Have you guys seen those on the internet?
What?
Groove Life belts. It's
Groove
like
Life?
Yeah. It's so it's made from like some material, but it's real sturdy and stretchy, obviously.
Like that one of them hemp belts or something kind of like that. Maybe
I don't know.
I kind of feel like I've seen the ads for what you're talking
you
about.
probably have, but I don't believe it's a hemp belt. So like anyways, you kind of adjust it, and it's got a magnet in it, and it kind of clips in too. So you just kind of like latch it on, and you don't have to like keep adjusting it through the day. Like you just adjust it to what you want, and then you clip it on, and it
doesn't have like the notches like a normal belt, right?
No. So you just kind of adjust it like your typical tether or whatever, and then you just put it through the belt loops and latch it, and stays pretty firm all day.
Yeah.
So they call it the belt for guys that don't have an ass. So
Groove Life. Okay.
Yeah, I'm digging it so far. I think it's like $60 or $70, but it's worth it. I think it'll last too.
Yeah, if it lasts.
Yeah. But it's kind of sad. I've been wearing the same Dickies belt for like 12 years. I took it off and I got all sad, and I was
it's like when you get a new wallet or something. It's
right.
Like, wow, we've been through a lot together.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, hold on a second here. This says this is the toughest belt known to man. It is a tactical belt. So are you going off the wall on us there, buddy?
Maybe.
Are you joining like a militia or something?
Yeah, you got a tactical belt now.
I took out a second mortgage on this house, and I put about 90% of that mortgage into the what's the campaign?
Stop the Steal Fund.
Stop the Steal Fund. That's right, baby. So we're gonna get there one day.
Buying up small arms and freeze dried food from Costco.
Yep. Everything is just stacked up down here, ready for the apocalypse. So
it's on risers though, so it doesn't flood, right? You got it off the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want it to be on the floor.
Yeah, I got it on a little table over there. But I got the Pierce Brosnan James Bond Blu-ray set. And then I got the Daniel Craig set, which doesn't have No Time to Die in it, but big deal. I'll buy that on digital or something. But yeah, it was a good little holiday. I got away, stayed at my mom's for a couple days. Got to have some good food and good time with family. I mean, what else can you ask for, right?
Do they leave you an extra spot in the Daniel Craig set for the last movie or no?
No. I had my first rain out too on my CPAP. Forgot to tell you about that. I woke up. The room I stayed in at my mom's house, it has this big giant bay window, and it's cold as fuck in that room. I think they said it was like 60 some degrees, 64 or something. But I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I kept hearing this popping noise. I was like, kind of like half asleep, waking up. I'm like, is somebody popping popcorn this early in the morning? And I woke up and I was like, oh, I felt a little drip, coming down on my mouth. And I was like, took the mask off and this water poured out. I was like, shit. So I went ahead and ordered me a heating tube. So I used it last night for the first time. So, but it was pretty nice. What temperature do you set yours on?
Everything's on max. The tube temperature is like 87 degrees, and then the humidifier is on like 9, whatever the max is.
I have it just on auto for right now. So I'll see if I need to up it or something. But
I tried auto, but I don't like being congested at all when I sleep. So I put everything on max, and it's just hot, humid air just blowing into my face.
How about that weather last week? Holy shit. That what they call it, the bomb cyclone?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. It was negative 30 here one day, and it was the same temperature that it was in Antarctica. I think it was like negative 33. It It's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Coldest, I think it was the coldest recorded temp in Ohio, just like 94 or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I mean, the roads were fucked up for like several days, at least 3 days.
Mhm.
Because I mean, everything that they plowed just fucking freezed right over. And it was just unleveled from where cars had driven through it. And it was
So the wind was the
yeah. Well, and then it snowed and the wind blew everything back over. It was a fucking hot mess, dude. I drove out to my mom's on Christmas morning and it was a drive.
But didn't you guys get rain before all of it hit though? So it was kind of fucked up. We didn't. We just got fucking cold, and then it was like that Thursday morning it started snowing a little bit, about between like 8 and 10 in the morning, and then the snow picked up a little bit, but then it just got stupid ridiculous cold. We never got more than 2 to 3 inches of snow.
Yeah, we had it rained for a while actually, and then they were worried about that freezing and power lines coming down and all that. But there were so many people without power in the state of Ohio, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I remember saying there was some power problems, not a lot. I don't think we got as much ice as they were worried about.
AEP put out a notice like, please conserve power. Like,
Yeah,
it made me just want to go turn more shit on.
let me turn the heat back up.
Yeah,
As long as the bill's paid, I'm using it. Fuck you guys.
Right.
You don't want me to use it? Turn it off.
right. They were like, well, we want you to conserve it so we don't have to do rolling outages. Like,
Fuck them.
okay.
I got to be prepared if you do them anyway. I better get that house hot.
Right. Like, I got clothes to wash. I'm sorry. But
I did that the night before it started getting bad. I'm like, I better run a few extra loads of laundry and stuff. Just that way, if the power goes off, I got clothes ready to go. Put out a few little extra water just so I had some water.
It was something though, man. I tell you. And when I was driving to my mom's, I kept seeing all these cars like off to the side of the road. I'm like, oh, that person, they couldn't get their car out, obviously. So it's there until it melts. But
See him panic, slam on the gas, slam on the brake.
right. Man, so 2022 is coming to a close. And I thought we could just do like kind of like a year in review. So I don't know. What was your like?
We made fun of Robzilla a lot. We watched some movies that sucked. We watched some that weren't bad. Got cyberbullied. See you guys 2023.
Yep. We
none of this new year, new me shit. New Year's.
Nope.
Yeah, I've never really been one to put like goals in place. Like, what is it? New Year's resolutions. I've never really been hip to that because I don't know. I kind of have the approach to Vince Vaughn and Dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I never set any goals, then I'll never be disappointed in life. And I mean, that's kind of true. But yeah, what a crazy year though. I mean, we have was it the war in Ukraine? Did that start in 2022 or was that 2021? Into 2021?
That had to be. Didn't that start in early 2022?
Yeah, it was this year.
February.
I'm looking at the AP. And they kind of have like a year in review hub here, and it's got like recalling influential people who died in 2022. Queen Elizabeth is the poster woman for this. She's probably the most famous person that died.
I'd have to say.
Yeah. I mean, other than what the Grim Reaper took from us.
Even though where Betty White stands around here, Betty White was better than the Queen.
Ooh.
Well, that's if Betty White would have been able to hang on until 2022. Who do you think would have got the headline for the bigger death, Queen or the Betty White?
I don't know. I mean,
Because Betty White went like a week or two before the new year, didn't she? It was right at the end of December.
It was really close.
yeah. Yep. Probably still the Queen, I would imagine.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, people have been waiting on her to go for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it says right here, 70 years.
Robzilla just posted in the group chat here. Barbara Walters dead at 93.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Be up there.
She's still alive.
Not no more.
She was. You know?
60 Minutes, Barbara Walters.
Wow. 2022 strikes again. You can never be too sure.
It's gonna claw out a few more from the next day or two, I'm sure.
Right. But it says she had 70 years on the throne, helped modernize the monarchy across decades of enormous social change, royal marriages and births, and family scandals. Wow.
Very beloved and very hated, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll miss the photoshops of like Donald Trump on the Queen.
Yeah.
Those were like fucking hilarious. I love those, man. They'd have me in tears. Ooh, the year of the slap pop culture moments in 2022. Ugh. Okay. Oh, he like muted his mic, it sounds like.
I did.
There he is.
I muted it because I was coughing.
Man,
I didn't want to cough in the mic.
I hear you. Which, by the way, everybody, Rob Zilla is doing okay. He had surgery to remove some nodules around his thyroid, and then I believe they took the thyroid too. But Rob is having a tough time coughing and sleeping because of the coughs and whatnot. And I think he's having a hard time talking too, but he'll be back in action.
I was going to ask if we were going to get like the Stephen Hawking chair for him for the night.
We should have had him call in and like talk through a talk app or something. Okay, so I'm looking. They don't really have a list here, but of course, you know, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. That was a great moment.
Can't help but think that's a little overblown. Like, I get it was a big deal, but it's just like
he assaulted a man.
It's not like you went up there and like beat him half to death or something. It was a shocking thing to see, but I don't know.
That it was. How many women did Pete Davidson date this year? That's what I want to know. He was cleaning
Just
up.
Just a couple. He's with Kim for a while.
Yeah, I mean, this one says, oh, this is just a picture of them at some gala or some shit.
Leo dumped another one when she turned 25.
Right. Let's see here. Share screen. Let's share the screen. Yeah, look at that. That he was cleaning up this year.
Kim K. Was that Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah, he dated her for a little bit, and then Kim. Then he moved on to somebody else. Or is he just single now?
I don't know. When was Ariana? Was that last year?
Yeah, I think that was last year.
Yeah. Oh, Brittany got out of her conservatorship. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's right. Brittany did get out of the conservatorship.
Tom Brady got a divorce and retired and unretired.
Unretired.
She signed a mammoth book deal, it says.
Brittany?
Yeah. Rihanna is pregnant.
She's showing a lot of her goods with little kitty cats and stars over them on Instagram.
Coda won Best Picture. I still haven't watched that movie. Have you guys?
It's an Apple exclusive. I'm not going to.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't want to pay for another fucking service, man. Like, if they put it out to rent, I'd probably rent it and watch it. But I guess, you know, what would be the difference paying $5.99 to rent it and
right
$5.99 for Apple? I just really don't want to give Apple any money. I think is what it comes down to.
We you're talking about the storm and everything. We lost power for about 6 hours. Yeah, it was pretty fucking brutal. Started to get pretty cold in the house. They had opened up the village hall and a middle school by us for heated warming centers. And then they were saying that the internet went down when the power went out, and the internet wasn't going to be back on until 1 a.m. And I looked at my wife. I said, you know what? It's a good thing you got a husband that collects physical media, because we'll be able to watch movies once the power comes back on.
Right.
Fuck that streaming bullshit. As long as I got power, I'm good.
It's funny. Hot Sauce sent me a picture of Mrs. Hot Sauce. She was all bundled up. I mean, layers upon layers. And
bundled.
In the picture, you can see Hot Sauce's shorts and legs hanging out like he's just chilling.
I did put on a pair of fucking wool socks under my house slippers, though. So I was maybe feeling a little bit in the toes.
Yeah, you got to keep them feet warm.
Yeah.
I was in sweats and Man, I didn't want to move or anything, but that was some cold, man.
I did put on a pair of pants for the first time in over a year. The day after everything thawed out, I said, I'm going to run to the grocery store and get a couple of things. I mean, and we didn't need it. We'd actually, my wife went back to Ohio for some stuff. And when she came back, she brought my niece, my nephew, my nephew's wife. And their plan was to stay through Christmas Eve and actually get picked up and taken back home on Christmas Eve back to Ohio. Well, everybody started flipping the fuck out because of the storm and, we got to come get them now. So they had to make the fucking trip and do it in one day to come get them. But I had actually been grocery shopping and planning to cook for 5 fucking adults. So when they left, it's just me and my wife. The power goes out. I've got fucking 5 adults worth of food for a week in the house. I'm good.
Yeah. It sounds like you were well prepared for the storm.
Well prepared. Now, I don't have any tactical belts or freeze-dried food or anything like you, but I was there. I don't have any tactical belts. I do got firearms, but
I don't have any firearms. That's what I'm going to have to start beefing up on.
Yeah.
J-Bone did get me a little Black & Decker drill, though. So if somebody comes in, I drill them in the head, But so it looks like this is in April, Grammy time. John Batiste wins big, taking 5 statuettes. Musician's huge year will later include performing at the first state dinner and the Biden administration for French President Emmanuel Macron. The next day, Macron will meet with Musk, thanks to the segue, Monsieur El President, who begins his acquisition of Twitter this month, leading to untold and still unfolding changes of the social media giant. That's probably like the biggest thing of the year, as far as like news, I would say.
And that started in April.
Mm-hmm.
And he just took control of it. What, end of October, beginning November, something like that?
Yeah,
mid-November, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, here we get to May, man.
Don't forget Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in there.
Oh yeah, that was a great highlight of 2022. Some great sound bites. I mean, what do we have here?
Shut up, fat ass.
We got some of that out in it. I mean, great stories. We got the poop incident where she shit in the bed. But that was some great.
What did he say, that it didn't look like the dogs or whatever?
It was
looked like human fecal matter.
Human fecal matter. Human fecal matter. That was some great TV right there. But it sounds like they've settled.
I think because they were supposed to go back again, but I think they ended up
just settling. Yeah. Man, that was great, though. I really enjoyed that. We had a good time making fun of that and talking about it. Okay, so in May, looks like Met Gala. Who gives a fuck?
Dude, remember monkeypox?
Yeah, monkeypox was a big deal.
Briefly tried to dethrone COVID as the virus of the decade.
Yeah. You can't get a monkeypox vaccine unless you're gay. Just give the bigots fuel, why don't you?
Right, that was another one that seemed you don't want to say overblown, but like just
right.
If you're keeping away from people.
Yeah.
Not
kind of overblown, but kind of a what the fuck? And just like, come on.
Right. Was it really as big of a deal where they had to have like all those infomercials and stuff like that?
Well, I guess you'd rather be a little overblown with it than and something actually happened. You're like, oh, we didn't do anything. Oh shit.
So let's see here.
You got the shooting in Uvalde.
Yeah.
We're still in May here on this website. Top Gun Maverick opens the highest grossing domestic debut in Cruise's career. Can you believe that?
That was kind of a shocker.
Right. All the great movies he's made over the years. But
I thought for sure like one of the Mission Impossibles would have been up there already.
Yeah. And his first to surpass 100 million on opening weekend. Wow. Harry Styles debuted his album Harry's House after that too.
Good for him.
Right. Did you watch the Harry Styles movie with him and what's her face?
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling. Did you like it?
It was okay.
It was just okay. I thought it was just way overblown.
There was Florence Pugh was good in it.
Yeah, she was really good in it.
I think maybe I told you guys in the group chat, if I didn't tell you on the show, that it had the the tall guy who played Jonah on Veep.
Yeah.
Was like sort of one of the villainous kind of people.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I just couldn't help it because I kept thinking of all those insults from Veep.
The Gumby dick jokes and all that. Yeah.
So I felt bad because I couldn't take him serious.
You can't take that dude serious. He's Jonah whenever you see him in something.
So
I just think of his little uncle yelling at him and calling him like gay and stuff like that.
So yeah,
that show is so fucking good. Okay, so in June, yeah, that's when the Virginia jury hands Depp a victory in his very messy libel case over allegations of domestic abuse, finding that former wife Heard defamed him in 2018 op-ed. On a happier note, Britney gets married. Britney Spears. Oh, okay. Only one wedding, Britney? Bennifer has two. Maybe what happens in Vegas usually stays in Vegas, but not when you have 227 million followers on Instagram, with a winking reference to being, was it Sade? Married lady. Jennifer Lopez directs fans to her newsletter where she shares pics of her quickie wedding with Ben Affleck. Love is beautiful, she writes.
Is that a badonkadonk or is that just the dress or what? Like, what the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, that's got to be like the dress itself.
What the fuck is that?
Like J-Lo's got a nice ass, but it ain't that big. Isn't that funny that this all happened a little bit after she made that movie that flopped big time
with Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson. That I think it's "Marry Me," which is right behind them. But Ben Affleck, man, that dude, he kills it, doesn't he? He just goes from one hottie to the next.
Good for Ben,
right? So we'll get into this on our next topic, but there's all kinds of rumors about him and the other actors suing Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, I don't see how that goes anywhere.
Yeah, really. I think it's just a rumor.
Like I'm sure, I'm sure they got paid for everything. I'm sure it was a lot. So
I mean, if anything, they just don't. They're not getting paid for the work they didn't do already.
I guess you could say they kind of wasted your time because they didn't follow through on this or that. But at the same time, if you kind of got paid for everything.
So they actually had a second wedding in August on Affleck's compound in Georgia. It's bigger and fancier. Wow. And then here's where the Kardashian Davidson are no longer. This is all unfolding in August.
I think I was listening back to one of our shows. It was a show where we said where Yee was spreading the rumors that Pete Davidson had AIDS or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, what'd you think of Gay's Nazi-inspired merchandise?
It's funny how these awful people always get this creative ideas for their merchandise.
Right? I mean, some of those designs
maybe you could just turn anything into sort of a swastika.
Right. I'm like, I'm looking at some of that stuff and I'm like, oh, there's the swastika.
It's like, oh, that's kind of creative. I mean, it's evil as hell, but creative.
Right.
Just put a vague reference in there so you can take it for how you want it.
Like it's almost like, so where's Hitler's mustache at?
Is this just a couple of perpendicular lines?
Do you think Ye's next adventure will be making children's book of Where's Hitler? It'll be like Hitler and
why Hitler wasn't so bad.
Right. He was a good guy overall. I mean,
he was a snazzy dresser, if nothing else.
I mean, that mustache, dear Lord.
Well groomed.
Yeah, that guy's just out of control, isn't he? Ooh, so here we go. Either way, the movie directed by Olivia Wilde and starring her boyfriend, alleged Spitter Styles, is saddled or blessed. Yeah, that movie just wasn't. It was just okay. Like, you kind of know that something's going on with that movie.
Yeah,
they just didn't do a good job of hiding it.
Well, it's just kind of all stuff you've seen before. Kind of saw coming a mile.
Right. I felt like I'd seen that movie before.
I felt like they didn't. They sort of made the most boring version of that movie. Like there was some other plot lines that would have been like, oh, if that was the center of the movie, that would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I guess, Olivia Wilde's character kind of knows what's going on.
Right.
But there's a reason she goes along with it. And like, oh, okay, that would have been kind of a cooler story to tell than.
Now that scene where he puts her down on the dinner table.
Oh gosh.
And he has a nice dinner. We'll just say that.
I don't know how you shoot something like that. Like, all right, lunch break now.
Yeah, like, because I mean, he gets pretty damn close. I mean, he's in there, you know. Some of this stuff, you see it and you're like, did they just really do that? You know, which reminds me, I wanted to play this message from what's his face? They got kicked off of that movie.
From Shia
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I gotta find that and play it. I can't remember where I put it though.
From today, so it was in the messenger.
Yeah, I meant
TikTok or whatever.
I meant to put it in the comments, so I had it right there. What the fuck is that? Look at that. It's like a giant piece of something, worm or something. The second Harvey Weinstein trial opens in Los Angeles, so we're in October now. Adidas drops Ye, part of a cascade of companies that will sever ties with the rapper over his anti-Semitic and other troubling comments. The Musk era begins at Twitter as the world's richest man carries a sink into the office.
No longer the world's richest man.
To let that sink in. Heidi Klum's Halloween costume, a slimy, glistening rainworm. Okay, so that's what that is.
I don't think I remember that one.
No, I don't remember that at all. But before the month worms away from us, let's see it to Swift for dropping her new album, Midnights. Spotify's most streamed album in a single day. Man, she kills it, dude.
Don't forget the
the Ticketmaster fiasco.
Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Then adding 7 bonus tracks, then becoming the first artist to occupy all top 10 slots in the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Let that sink in. P.S. Celebrity Divorce Watch. Brady and Giselle Bundchen split. Is it just me, but I just don't find her very attractive.
I don't find her unattractive.
You wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers.
Right. She's not ugly, but I don't like everybody like rants and raves about her. Like I think Kate Upton's hotter than she is.
Yeah.
She's also about what 20 years younger too, ain't she?
Yeah. I don't know. How old is Kate?
She's got to be definitely younger.
She's probably our age, right?
Roughly, I think.
Yeah.
Is she still married to Justin Verlander?
Yeah, I think so. Because she was at the playoffs talking shit to fans and stuff.
Kate Upton is 30 years old.
Okay, so she's a little younger than us.
Giselle is.
I don't know why. I know a lot of people are like, she's the most beautiful woman ever.
Well, you know,
Giselle is 43.
In model.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not into like super thin chicks. I think that's what it is.
Need a girl who looks like she has a cheeseburger every now and again.
Right. I need a girl
I've gotten stuff shared from you before. I'm gonna vouch for that wholeheartedly.
You want a girl to take the Raising Cane's with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want a girl that's gonna eat the whole menu at Raising Cane's. Without
if she does, she does. We're having a good time, right?
Get you an extra toast, girl.
Finger licking chicken. Which combo you picking? Give me the whole fucking menu.
You know you're in trouble when she asks for the cup of sauce and you're like, fuck. You know, the whole big, they give you like the large cup of sauce.
They give you the large drink cup of sauce. Fuck yeah. Bring it on.
She's a keeper.
Did we say last month was Taylor Swift's month?
Yeah, I think so.
This is November. Well, now millions of eager fans crowd a pre-sale for her much-awaited Eras tour, resulting in crashes and endless waits. Ticketmaster cancels the general sale, citing insufficient stock. Multiple state attorneys general announce investigations. Takeaway: people want Taylor Swift tickets. At the multiplex, they also want their Wakanda. Black Panther Wakanda Forever meets the double challenge of following up one of the biggest blockbusters in history and losing its biggest star. I still haven't seen Wakanda Forever.
I feel like a lot of the Marvel movies have been kind of,
they're just so and so right now.
Yeah, at least in maybe a box office wise, they've done half decent, but they don't seem to stay around or get as interesting as they have been.
No, and they're not tying in so well with other things. The future of it.
I think Phase 4. I think it's what we're still. It's been kind of a disappointment. I think they're kind of. They've got like 1 or 2 movies left to go, and then they're going to go transition into Phase 5.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like they're going anywhere with it.
I think everybody's hoping Phase 5 kind of kicks back in and they kind of figure out what they want to do with the big arc.
Right.
When is 5 supposed to start? Is that with Quantumania? Is that when that kicks off, or is it later than that?
The last one.
Okay, that's the end of 4.
Quantumania bridges it to the next phase.
Okay.
Are you looking?
Yeah,
He's looking.
Since
He's
so
looking.
Phase 4 will end in 2022, and Phase 5 will start in 23.
That's got to be Quantumania then, 23.
Yeah, we get to the film.
Because that's their big summer release is Quantumania.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania in February.
That's February.
Be the first one. Quantumania, Guardians 3, The Marvels, Captain America: New World Order, Thunderbolts, and Blade. Assuming Blade's still coming out.
If Blade's still on track, because that kind of got shit on there.
But
I know they were very upset with the.
Yeah, Blade's scheduled for September.
Yeah,
Well, it was one of those creative differences.
Right. Okay, so we're in December. Love them or hate them. Here come Harry and Meghan again with a Netflix documentary watched very closely by royalty across the pond. Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Yeah,
Did you? I have no interest in those two. I heard it like there was a lot of bullshit in it too.
Like good for them for getting out of all that stuff that they didn't like, but I don't really care about their Netflix deal.
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
Over at Twitter, Musk says he'll step down as CEO after polling users once he finds someone foolish enough to replace him. Whatever.
Who else would want to do my terrible job?
Cameron's Avatar sequel finally appears 13 years after the original broke records, and yes, moviegoers flock to Pandora once again, except for me.
I still haven't seen either of them.
I'm just like, whatever. The first one was just, man. And
So the second one's over $1 billion at the global box office already.
Did it really? I just don't. I don't fucking get it. I don't see what people love about those movies. Okay. And bringing the full year full circle, Smith emerges to promote his new film Emancipation, hoping people will forget about what was it? At least enough to check out the movie. The smack heard around the world. Bitches. All right. Back to full screen.
Big year.
Yeah, it was a big year. Lots of stuff going on. Rob says he took an oxy for pain, and that shit works.
Need to get him on one of those medical commercials.
Yeah, we really should. I took an oxy, and it works.
One out of one Robzilla's agree. That shit works.
It's got 2 alligator arm thumbs up.
I wonder if he like jotted down like how long it took for the pain medicine to kick in. Like approximately 15 minutes later, I started feeling a little lightheaded.
He's outside walking the dog, but the dog's not really there. He's just so high he thinks he's outside walking the dog.
Pain dissipated.
Rob, get back in the
minutes.
house.
I wonder who's taking care of the dog since he's been out of commission.
Nobody. It's dead.
You think it's just laying in its bed dead and nobody notices?
So do you think the dog the dog knows that Robzilla is sick? So like the dog's taking care of him, like pulling the blanket up over his chin or whatever while he's on the couch passed out?
Yeah, maybe the dog's like sharing his food with Rob,
right?
Like the fresh steak they
make. Doing like the nose push.
He's like
nudging the bowl over.
Get a drink of water from my water bowl, Rob.
Let me help you out.
So, following the DC EU, Warner Brothers Discovery hired James Gunn and what's his face to helm the DC cinematic universe.
James Gunn and not James Gunn.
Yeah. And so of course all the Zack Snyder fans, they're just distraught over this news. They're not handling it very well at all. And look, I'm a Zack Snyder fan of the DC properties. I mean, I really love Man of Steel. I did like Batman versus Superman, the extended cut. And I like the Zack Snyder Justice League. But man, these people, they just won't give up. They're starting a new trend. Hashtag fire James Gunn. I gotta say, it seems a little ridiculous.
I feel like I saw something like they're putting like vaguely threatening things out there, like
Right.
something's gonna happen on this day.
What James Gunn has literally survived, being canceled at this point. Even though I was reading up on him and he is into some weird shit. Have you read up on this dude?
No.
Like, I guess one of his friends went to jail for what do you call that? Having a relationship with a child. Well,
Sexual predator?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, he had a relationship.
Rape?
Yeah, something of that nature.
It ain't no relations, buddy. That's rape.
They had a relationship for X amount of years, and the girl came forward and said that this guy kind of what am I looking for here? Kind of tricked her,
Groomed her?
Yeah, like groomed her and made it seem like it was she needed to do these things or X amount of these things will happen. And then he had like a party years ago, like a theme party where they everybody dressed up as victims of child molestation, and they took pictures and stuff. Like, it's really weird shit. Really weird shit. And I like James Gunn movies, but I mean, you can't defend the guy on some of this weird shit that he's done in the past. And I'm sure he's not the same person he was, but I mean, it seems a little suspicious.
Well, he even said, like, in one of his, after he got in trouble with stuff and he apologized for it and all that, he said, like, when I was a younger person, I made like jokes.
He tried to be edgy.
That I obviously at the time was trying to be like edgelordy, and I realized in pretty bad taste.
Yeah,
I'm sure we've all been there.
Some of the stuff, just go read up on James Gunn. And a lot of people call him a child molester and all this stuff. But I don't know, man. It just seems a little weird when you start reading about it and you're like, man, I really like this dude, but now I don't know if I like him. But that being said, we'll put that aside. I just don't see why these people are freaking out about, the end of the Zack Snyder era. Did you think it was going to last forever? Did you really think we were going to get the second Justice League out of that?
Apparently they thought they were.
We weren't going to get that. They've made that well known for quite some time. It didn't matter how well Zack Snyder's Justice League did on HBO Max or Blu-ray sales. They made it a point that was his closure and that they were moving on.
And it was odd in a way that he got to do it, because it's not like they released it back in the theater. Like, they just gave him this money to finish his movie, right? And then it went to streaming.
And they gave him a lot of fucking money to finish it. But with the change of guard at Warner Brother and the other people being ousted, and they kind of made it clear that they did want to go in a different direction at some point. But it does seem weird that they did cancel Henry Cavill as Superman after announcing that they were going to do another movie. But I think they realized how big Black Adam was eventually flopping, and they were like, we got to go a different direction of some sort. We got to get this on the right track. And people need to realize this. I mean, at the end of the day, it is about making a profit. And it doesn't appear that, if anything, was it Black Adam's probably going to cut even or maybe make a little bit of profit. But
I finally watched that it dropped on HBO Max. It ain't good.
It seemed like it very quietly dropped on HBO Max too.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't do like a huge ad on it or anything like that. I mean, it's just it's just an okay superhero movie. I mean, it's nothing to go home and brag about. Like, Avengers has just set the bar so high. I mean, I feel bad for these people making movies nowadays.
We talked about it at the time. Like, I kind of liked their messy ideas for movies. They just wanted to make what they wanted to make. If it fit together, great. If not, they didn't care.
Right.
And I kind of liked that idea because it was very much like the antithesis of what Marvel's doing. But they want that Marvel money. They want you to be like, oh, I gotta go see the next one because it's connected to the last one. And the next one.
Right.
But I don't even know if it's so much a connection thing. They're just not fucking good movies. They don't have to connect. If they're still good movies, people are still going to watch them.
I mean, I really I think Man of Steel is a great Superman story. And I think they just kind of went about the Batman versus Superman thing a little odd. I mean, I get there was just too much they were trying to squeeze in. Whereas Marvel introduced all these people with their solo movies and wrapped them all together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just a daunting task for them to begin with. I mean, they were playing catch up and they were never going to get caught up.
Right.
It's just that simple. But these people, they got to stop being so negative and just embrace the change. What else is there? Can they get any worse? No, I don't think they can get any worse.
Well, I'm sure they can, but there's not a lot. I don't see anything they do having an effect.
Look what James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's one of the better Marvel series that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you give the guy the keys to a very depth franchise such as the DC universe. I think he's going to do all right with it. And obviously, he's not going to direct every movie. He's just overseeing everything. Like we've always said, Warner Brothers needed to hire somebody with a vision, somebody to lay out a plan for the future and just go through with it. And I think they got their guy. I think it's going to be all right. Am I sad? Yeah, I'm sad that Ben Affleck will never get his solo Batman movie that he fucking deserves. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We've got, those set of movies. You can go back and watch them anytime and relive the fun that you had with them or whatever. But it's time
until HBO pulls them off the service.
Right.
for tax rebates or something.
Right. Until they cancel them to avoid paying taxes of some sort. But I mean, I have most of them on digital and Blu-ray, so I'm cool. But it's time to grow up and move on, people. This dream you have of the Snyderverse being completed is just, it's not going to happen.
Not happening.
And there's no one sadder than me, but at the same time, you got to realize it's not happening. Move the fuck on, and let's see what happens with the James Gunn era that we're going to enter here. Me personally, I think it's going to be good. I mean, I thought Suicide Squad that he did was good. I thought Peacemaker on HBO was fucking awesome. So, I mean, judging that, I think he's going to be in line to give us some good content. So,
well, and you bring up Guardians. He did a good job with Guardians of the Galaxy. He got people that they care about fucking Rocket and Groot and Star-Lord and like C-tier superheroes. You're giving him Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. He's going to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
He should.
Look what he did. Just like what you said. Look what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody had even fucking heard of Guardians of the Galaxy that was an average superhero fan. I mean, only like your top tier comic guys knew who Guardians of the Galaxy were. And he takes it and he makes it one of Marvel's most beloved franchise ever. We're talking about ever. I mean, they are extremely popular. How much Baby Groot merchandise do you think they sold? How much Rocket merchandise do you think they've sold?
How much did they pay Vin Diesel to say, I am Groot?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But folks, just be a little opportunistic. Stay positive. I don't think it's going to get any worse. There might be some flops here and there, but I think it's in good hands.
Just give me my Michael Keaton Batman. That's all I want.
And you're definitely going to get that with the Flash movie, which it sounds like they cut Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot from that.
What's the point? Having him in there now.
And, I mentioned earlier, there's a rumor floating around the internet that Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are, talking about making a lawsuit against Warner Brothers Discovery for damaging their career over the past 4 years or whatever you want to call it. I think it's just a rumor. I don't think they care. At the end of the day, they made their money. I mean, sure, every actor and actress puts projects on hold to make bigger movies, but it's not like they were telling them they couldn't work because this project might be filming in 2 months or whatever. So
I feel like what it might come down to is like the Scarlett Johansson thing. They're going to be talking about like money they lost because of,
right.
Movies not being in theaters as long as they could have been, stuff on HBO Max doing this and that, and whatever else is going on at Warner Discovery right now.
Yeah.
Well, she did. What did she do? The Nile one. What was that? You know what I'm talking about?
Death on the Nile?
Yeah, she did that one. I mean, she was doing other stuff. She'll be all right.
They've all done stuff since
Yeah.
Those movies got shelved or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, they weren't putting anything on hold. They were still out doing stuff.
And
That
that's
can't
what I'm
be.
saying. It's not like Warner Brothers was like, you can't make these movies
Right.
because we might be filming in 2 months. They haven't been filming. I mean, Ben has with the Flash, obviously, and Cavill did his little appearance in Shazam.
Yeah, I mean, there's schedules to work around.
I do feel bad for Cavill. I mean, even though people are like, well, they screwed him out of The Witcher. Like, he was kind of like half out the door with The Witcher. So, and he's already moving on to another project with Amazon Prime. So it is what it is, folks. I mean, things change. People don't stay in roles forever. And if you're a Doctor Who fan, you know that. I mean, everybody wanted David Tennant to stay around as the Doctor forever, and he hasn't. I mean, he's going to make an appearance here soon, but
I'll always be upset we didn't get the Ben Affleck Batman movie.
That's the saddest thing that I walk away from. I don't really give a fuck about Justice League 2. I'm sad I didn't get my Ben Affleck movie.
And I always be, I don't think Cavill got his Superman movie.
Right.
Like you said, Man of Steel was okay, but he didn't get that one where he got to be like Christopher Reeve era defining
Mhm.
I will say this. Every time I watch Man of Steel, it just seems to get better for me every rewatch. Like, I just enjoy it more and more and more, and I get certain things that Zack Snyder was going with. And I mean, I don't think people see the art that Zack's putting out on the screen for them, and some of the visually the visual effects that he's portraying to you. And I think a lot of people don't get that, and that's why it's so hit and miss. Whereas the Marvel movies are all humor and action, and it's just to pedal to the metal from the start to the end. And people seem to be more attracted to that than the artsier side of what they're trying to go for in cinema. But like I said, I'm sad. I'm sad that Ben Affleck isn't going to get his movie, and I keep reading rumors that they want to somehow get Pattinson involved in their Justice League era, and I'm like, no, please.
I don't think Pattinson or Reeves was really interested in that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get them interested, and I don't want to see it. Like, just let him have his own Batman, because I'm really not into his.
And like
Batman.
I said, that was one of the pluses of the DCU as it was. Just let certain people do their own things.
Yeah.
Let it connect where it needs to connect, and if it don't,
I guess they're filming the second Joker right now.
are they filming?
Yeah, I think they just started filming that.
Remember they were talking about it with Gaga and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So my advice to you guys is stop stewing over it. Stop hashtagging fired James Gunn on Twitter. Move on with your life and accept change, because it's going to happen. I mean, Zack Snyder wasn't going to make DC movies his whole career. Let's just face it. It's time to move on. Get a new, fresh perspective. Let's move on. That's all it is to it. But we're at 53 minutes right now, and we've got one topic left. And Netflix dropped Knives Out, Glass Onion. What was it? The day before Christmas or 2 days before Christmas?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. I think it was the 23rd.
Yeah.
But so everybody here liked Knives Out, the original movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It was a Sleazy podcast. Unanimous favorite.
Yeah, it is. And I think it might be up for a Sleazy this year. What do you think? I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. I mean, is it the greatest movie I've ever watched? No. I don't know if it's better than the first one, but it was still good. It was fun.
I was thinking about that, and I think I still like the first one better, mainly because I'm really into that, like the fall aesthetic of that one a lot.
Yeah.
And this one, they go to the island in Greece, and they're meeting up with Ed Norton and his sort of Elon Musk-ish tech bro.
You could tell it was very Elon Musk.
Quirky billionaire with the little,
I think Ryan Johnson said it wasn't based on Musk, but it's definitely based on that type of sort of tech bro kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for this one for a while. I wanted to see it in theaters last month or whatever when it came out for that week, but I just didn't get around to it. I think it would have been a fun theater experience, especially with a lot of people who wanted to see it.
Yeah, it probably would have. It was a good. I mean, that's one of those movies you go to the movies for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that we didn't get a chance to. I mean, it was out in theaters, but we just didn't get a chance to go see it. I I was reading somewhere that Ryan wanted to do Daniel Craig's character with a different accent in every movie.
Yeah, that would have been a little too silly.
I think that would have been
Yeah.
awesome. I would have enjoyed it, but I do like his Southern.
Yeah, I like his Benoit Blanc
Yeah.
accent the way it is.
Yeah, I like that. So what's your impression of the movie without spoiling it? I'll let you go first, Hot Sauce.
I liked it. Big fan of the first one, so I too had been waiting on this one to come out. I like what's the term for like that genre of like the little clues that you want to look out for while you're watching it, or what is it? Yeah, the whodunits. You know, like what is things that you pick up on that like just kind of like get you, and then when something happens later on, you're like, oh, like that moment of like, oh wait, or that light bulb moment. So that's fun. I think probably, I don't know if it's so much an aesthetic thing for the first one versus the second one. I think the second one felt a little bit more chaotic to me. I think the characters were a little bit more hyper than the ones in the first one. So I think I probably like the first one a little bit more in that regard, but I think both of them, good story, good, it plays out good. It doesn't feel like anything's too far-fetched or off the wall or anything. There's some little moments where it's like, okay, I like that. Oh, I see what they did there. And it was a fun watch. I really enjoyed it. Letterbox score, I think it was like 3.5 or a 4. I think they both got somewhere like at 3.5, 4 range. I don't remember what exactly I did for each, but
I think I gave it a 3.5. So
I think I don't know if I rated it yet. I rated the first one a 4, and I'd rate this one maybe a 4, maybe 3.5. That was sort of an in-betweener. Like I said, I didn't like it just quite as much, but it was pretty good and pretty close to the feel of the first one. Like you said, those characters were kind of exaggerated. I loved Batista's sort of like men's rights kind of guy.
Yeah, Batista was good in this.
And the mom character at the beginning was kind of like telling him all these answers to this puzzle box that he's trying to solve. And he's like, shut up, Mom. Like,
Yeah.
What did you say to me?
She was put him in his place, that's for sure. I think this right here, hold on.
he was with what, Whiskey? Was that her name?
I like you said, there was at least a couple moments during the movie where kind of like just before they were revealed what they were going for, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I see what they were doing there.
I was reading after I had
Looks like
after I'd watched it.
Second watch too.
This
Definitely.
This was Hot Sauce's favorite part of the movie.
From Kate Hudson.
Some Kate Hudson in her bikini.
The movie takes place. Does it take place in 2020 or 2021 rather?
2020, like right at the
pandemic.
They all show up on the dock in Greece, and Kate Hudson's wearing a mask, but it just looks like chicken wire almost in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even blocking anything.
Yeah, it wasn't even a mask.
Yeah.
I like those little details. I thought those were good.
I like how they all got shot in the mouth with something. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh, they were on it.
I enjoyed. They had some little cameos right at the beginning with Angela Lansbury, Stephen Sondheim, and Kareem and Natasha Lyonne.
I think that's both of their last on-screen appearances, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, yeah, because they both died this year.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool because Stephen Sondheim, apart from being a musical guy, I think he co-wrote with Anthony Perkins a mystery called The Last of Sheila. And that's one that Ryan Johnson likes a lot. You can kind of see some of the influence of that in Glass Onion, sort of like the go out on the boat on the island and play a game sort of with a rich person. Angela Lansbury, of course, who was in some apart from being Jessica Fletcher in
Murder, She Wrote.
He was in some Agatha Christie mystery movies back in the day. And then Natasha Lyonne, she's going to be in Ryan Johnson's new series for Peacock, where she plays some sort of detective kind of character. So that was kind of like a neat little. They were playing what's the game, Amongst Us or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Among Us. That's when he's in the bathtub at the beginning.
Are you in the bath again?
I love how there's one scene where he's like, we've got this great evening planned out for you, and he just fucking shits on him and ruins it. Like, it was fucking great.
Is there a prize?
Daniel Craig really shines in them, both of those movies. I mean,
Mhm.
he does a really great job.
Well, I think you hear from a lot of people just how much fun he has in these two movies, especially after his 10 years or whatever as Bond, where he's really kind of getting his butt kicked and had to be all serious and all that. And he's sort of enjoyed some of these more comedic-esque roles that he's had over the last couple
They're
of
really
years.
fun roles. They're fun characters.
Yeah. And you can tell, like, it just comes through on the screen that he's enjoying playing the character.
He's having fun. He's having fun. I mean,
Oh,
he's out there and he's doing his thing and loving every minute of it.
You said it best. It just comes through on the screen. I think those are the best, movies.
I almost wish there was a little less of him in this one, because like in the first Knives Out, he's more of a side character-ish because Anna de Armas is kind of the star.
Yeah.
So in a way, I kind of wish there was a little less of him just to maybe push him off to the side in a way.
This was my favorite part. Madeline Klein.
Whiskey.
Whew. And for those of you that don't know, she's and she plays in Outer Banks on Netflix.
Okay.
But man, she was looking good in this movie. I can't find the bikini picture of her, but whew, she was a hot one in this one.
Did you notice that like in his room, like Ed Norton had like that big painting and it like looked like him from Fight Club with like his six-pack.
Yeah.
I did notice that.
Like, okay.
Yeah, there was all kinds of cool stuff if you looked around closely at his living room or whatever that they were in. But man, what a brilliant movie. There's really, you can't say anything negative about it. Really, it's a phenomenal flick, and you can see why Netflix paid out the ass for
crazy
it.
Soundtrack too. I mean, they had a couple Beatles songs in there. They had Bowie in there 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
That alone must have cost them a small fortune.
Don't they have 2 more on tap?
At least one more.
One more. Okay.
I don't remember how many they paid for, but I thought he said at least he's working on the 3rd one already.
Okay.
But because
I can't remember if Netflix picked up 3 or if they picked up 2 more to make it 3 total.
And with them, I don't remember for sure. They paid out some $500 million or something like that for the rights to the next ones or whatever.
Now, what do you think of it? Because I had read something too, like what about calling it like Glass Onion, Benoit Blanc's mystery or something like that versus putting Knives Out in the title?
Well, I did. I didn't read the article, but the headline was that Rian Johnson didn't like it, that they called it a Knives Out mystery or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I kind of like that idea, but Knives Out was its own thing. So if they wanted to call it a Benoit Blanc mystery, I'd be cool with that. Yeah,
and I think they should. I don't think I would like for them to do that on the future ones. Benoit Blanc, mystery or a Benoit Blanc story or something along those lines. Because the Knives Out was that was the name of the first one, and then you've got a continuous character in them. But I mean, minor nitpick over a solid film. It's just
right.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if he wanted to go for that, but when Netflix shells out that much money, I guess they kind of get some say in what they.
Damn, look at that. She was fine in that movie. Can't get over it enough. But yeah, phenomenal movie. So what would you give it on Letterboxd? I know you're still digesting it.
Yeah, like I say, if I was to do it, I'd probably round it down to a 3.5 instead of a 4, just because it's just a little not quite. It didn't do it for me quite as much as the first one did.
Right.
Like if they had half-star options or a quarter-star options, I'd give it 3.75. But I'd probably have to round it down to 3.5.
There's something about the first one that's just great.
I like
and like you said, I think it's more the setting that it's in.
Yeah, I like the mystery writer's house, Christopher Plummer. He called it it's a living clue board, but they did have a clue reference in this one. And I like that too. And then Benoit doesn't like clue. It's too silly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel bad because I really loved everybody that played in this movie. I mean, there was some great acting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just something that's not quite there that the first one had. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this one was still great. And I was really entertained, and it's not quite a 4, but it's right there. Mm-hmm. So close. So.
I feel like maybe I liked the first one more just because it was unexpected in a way.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, oh, okay, that was a surprise. And this one, you knew it was going to be solid, but you didn't know exactly what it was going to be.
Right.
The first one felt tighter to me. Like it just felt more complete. I mean, this not even complete. The characters in this one, like I said, just more over the top, like is what took it down a little bit.
Mhm.
They all played their roles great. The characters were great. It's just the difference between the first set and the second set of characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we didn't even talk about Janelle Monáe, who kind of plays sort of the lead character almost.
Uh-huh.
In this. She's really good. She's got different parts to play where she gets to put on her accent and everything. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
She was good.
Yeah.
She was good. I mean, everybody really shined in this movie. And Edward Norton was Edward Norton. I don't think you ever get a bad performance out of Edward Norton. Batista was good for, the part that he served in it. Who else am I missing? I mean, Kate Hudson was good. And then what's her face?
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah,
But,
Catherine Hahn. Another
Yeah.
good one.
She's almost always funny when she's in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because she really doesn't have a whole lot of range.
Mhm.
So she's that type of chick that she's always is and everything. But she was still good. She was good. And then I mean, obviously, Daniel Craig. I mean, he takes the ball and slams dunks.
It really is kind of his
Yeah.
show.
Whereas, like you said, in the first one, Ana de Armas was kind of the star, and
Mhm.
this one he kind of just takes over, and you just see his skills on full display.
Mhm.
But super good movie, man. If you haven't watched it yet, get your Netflix account up and fucking stream it. Stream it.
You don't have an option
Yeah.
to do anything else.
No, I don't know if they'll put that out on. I would imagine they'll never put it out on Blu-ray.
I don't know. Netflix has got to start doing something to get more revenue, I think.
But I don't think they want to, because if they want you to watch it, they want you to subscribe and watch it.
Mhm.
So
I wouldn't. If anything was going to come out on physical media, it'd be this one.
yeah. This would
Or
be
at least give me a set. Give me a box set at the end. The Benoit Blanc collection. Give me a little 4-disc set.
that would be really, really cool. The Benoit Blanc set.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to whatever he decides to do with 3. I hope. I like the other one was kind of like a fall mystery, and this one's that summer on the island mystery. So I hope they go like somewhere snowy or something like that. The next one is kind of change it up.
Get you like a ski lodge mystery. Something happens at a ski resort.
Right.
That's hilarious. We can definitely hear you this time, Hot Sauce.
What?
I can hear you creaking back in your chair.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like I'm right next to you. All right. So this is actually what I wanted to share earlier. They actually
It's better with audio. I can't hear anything. There's no audio.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, there's no audio on that though.
Oh, you can't hear that? We're hearing
Yeah,
it.
we can hear it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
weird.
okay.
You actually got to fuck.
I get what Shia is saying about the realness of the moment, if you will.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, acting out a murder is different than committing a murder.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's the difference between like a movie and a documentary, I guess.
He's trying to get into that spirit of method acting
Right.
there, and it's not going over so well. You actually got to fuck. Porn stars fuck. Good old Shia LaBeouf. He's always good for a sound clip here and there for whatever reason.
He's an out there guy.
He really is an out there guy. We need a soundboard of him. Just do it. Do it.
Who do you think should be in the next Knives Out? That's the kind of question going around.
Oh, you fucker.
Like I'm trying to think. I'd like to see like an older actor again. Like I said, we had Christopher Plummer in that one. We had sort of the Angela Lansbury, Stephen Sondheim cameos in this one. Is there like an older actor who kind of needs to come back and have like a either like be the person who gets killed or just have like a small role or something?
Kevin Spacey can get killed.
Kevin Spacey would be a good one to put in there. I don't know if they're ready to resume a relationship with Kevin Spacey on the big screen. So, man, that's a good question. I don't know.
Like, could Clint Eastwood be in a Knives Out movie?
I don't think so.
a little,
Yeah,
he's a little too much.
Yeah. I enjoyed The Mule. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed The Mule, but I don't think he could do it.
I think Henry Cavill would fit in a Knives Out.
Yeah, that would be a good one. How about Shia LaBeouf? Let's just throw him in there. Then he can actually fuck.
Right. Let me really stab this guy, Ryan. Let me stab him.
Yeah, maybe Shia LaBeouf can actually fucking kill somebody, and then it'll be their job to solve it, whether he did it or not, or how he did it. Oh, that would be a good one.
Can you put Harrison Ford in there somewhere?
Oh,
that would be.
Yeah.
I could see him being the victim or something like that.
They got to start going on this though. These older folks, get them in there.
That'd be a good one.
We just got to quit talking about him. That's all.
Right.
Shut it down.
We keep jinxing all these motherfuckers.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's what happens.
Got to go sometime, right? But yeah, I mean, Glass Onion, superb movie. Watch it. And if you haven't seen Knives Out, watch that first. Then watch Glass Onion, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That way you have somewhat of an idea what's going on.
Was that 2019 for Knives Out?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sounds
so they're
right.
going to run about 3 years to the next one then, or you think we'll get it sooner?
I got to imagine they'll probably start production soon.
Well, I don't think he's actually written 3 yet.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, they did have the pandemic and stuff to contend with, and they had to wait for Netflix to get the rights and all that after the first Knives Out. And plus, that one was kind of word of mouth grown for a while, so I'm sure.
I would think Netflix is going to want it done though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in like 2 years.
Well, that is all we have, really, unless you guys want to talk about something else.
Got to start getting those like top 10 lists ready and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
the Sleazy's coming up.
The Sleazy's will be coming up in March or April.
Yeah.
So whatever the Oscars are, we'll do it then.
I keep wanting to start working on like a top 10 of the year list, but there's still a good handful left of movies.
I've got tons of shows I got to watch still, and a handful of movies, that'll be coming out. Obviously, there was something I wanted to go to the theaters this week, but I never made it out. But that is what it is.
I mentioned having watched Black Adam on HBO Max. Black Adam is better than Love and Thunder.
How much better?
Oh man,
not much.
I don't know if I could say that.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's probably worse than Love and Thunder. It's pretty bad.
Like Love and Thunder has potential too. Like Christian Bale's gore was so good in that.
Yeah,
I think that's the only reason I gave it a 3-star on Letterboxd, is because Christian Bale was so good in that. Even Thor had his moments when they weren't being too stupid about it.
I'm so sad that they couldn't save Natalie Portman. Like, they've got all this technology and they can't fucking cure cancer.
Like they go through every multiverse. Do you have a cure for cancer? No.
Yeah.
It's like, cancer's a real bitch, buddy.
You're fucked, lady. Go die, with some dignity. Okay.
I did get around to finally seeing Maverick, and that was really good.
Maverick is so good from the start to the end.
And that's one of those ones where, like, if you put it in context of other movies, it doesn't stand out quite so much, because we used to get like a movie like Maverick every year,
right?
Or two, in like the big blockbuster spot, but we don't kind of get it. Like, I think we were going to talk about it for one episode. Like, we don't have the movie stars in a way like we used to.
Right.
Like, a certain person doesn't always sell the ticket anymore. But like Tom Cruise is one of the few out there. Like, oh, this is a Tom Cruise movie. Okay, I'll go see it.
He's still doing his thing, man.
And it was good to see him sort of like actually kind of be a grown up in a movie for a change.
Right.
Instead of just being like alpha male Tom Cruise the whole movie. He was still mostly alpha male Tom Cruise.
Running and jumping off buildings.
But at least in this one, he was kind of admitting, like, oh yeah, I'm getting kind of old. And, it's only been in the last like couple years where he's started to show his age, I think.
I know the video he posted before the movie, thanking everybody for coming out to the movies and all this stuff. And I was looking at it, I was like, damn, he's showing his age in this one. You can tell there was no makeup set for this video. He just got on and did his thing. But yeah, a lot of good movies this year, that's for sure.
I kind of want to rewatch. Did you buy Nope Hot Sauce, or are you still waiting on that one?
I'm waiting on a set for that. I want a box set. I've watched it, but I'm waiting for a box set for that. I'd like to get a little.
Yeah, I got it.
I thought one of you guys got it.
Yeah.
That's one I need to revisit.
You can watch it on Peacock.
Yep, Peacock.
So.
Oh, is it on Peacock now?
Yep.
Oh, I'll rewatch it on Peacock.
Yep, it's all Peacock.
That's one I need to rewatch it before I do my top 10 list. So it'll be on there somewhere, I think.
Yeah. I'm watching Alice in Borderland right now.
Okay, Rob. Nobody cares.
I kept seeing a bunch of people talk about it. And I was like, I gotta fucking watch this. And it's funny, like normally I don't like the English dub over it, but I had to turn it on because I was, kind of half-assing it and doing other things. And I was like, I need the audio to kind of keep me in tune with it. It's actually a good show. I don't know. Like a lot of people have said it's better than, what's the Squid Games? I don't know if I can say that yet.
I think I need to watch. Did Squid Games come out this year?
Last year.
Yeah,
it was Netflix's big thing last year. But I don't know if I can say it's better than Squid Games just yet. But I'm edging towards the end of the first season, and the second season just came out. So that's what I've been doing. So
we just started Jack Ryan.
Yeah, I wanna check that one out too. There's just too much shit to watch nowadays.
I got through the first episode for Jack Ryan today. And it's kind
solid. Yeah, it's solid so far.
Interesting enough premise to kind of keep me like, okay, I'll come back and check this
out. Of course, got the Russians in it. Gotta have the Russians in it this time.
I don't even remember what happened on the last Jack Ryan.
Was there a recap?
No, there wasn't.
No. Okay.
Assholes.
I even, sometimes these seasons have like an episode 0 where they do that kind of stuff. And this one didn't. And I looked at the dates. The last season came out in 2019. So hell, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal, maybe, because if you remember like who Greer is, I think there's a character in the second episode who obviously has a history with Jack Ryan, but I don't remember exactly what it was. Okay, maybe I need to Wikipedia some of this or something.
Well, that's all we have for episode 148. This is the last episode of the year. So happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully you have a safe and wonderful time with your family, bringing in the new year. We'll be back in probably 2 weeks as usual, unless there's another cyclone bomb. Is that what they called it?
Stay away.
Yeah, right. Like I've had my fair share of this shit for the year. Like let's just get it over with. But that's all we have for you. And as always, my call to action is to share the show with one person. And from there, we'll get them to share the show with another person. That's how we grow. It comes from you guys. So thank you all for listening and making another wonderful year for us.
Like all those pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
And you can go to thesleazypodcast.com and find everything there. You can find wherever you want to listen or watch.
You got one of them link trees that was almost illegal on Twitter?
Yeah, that fucker. Fuck him. And there's a merch page in there too, so you can get t-shirts too. So what better way to actually come forth with that call to action than wearing a Sleazy Podcast shirt?
Hey, Kevin Smith liked it.
Did he?
He liked your shirt, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, he did like it. He was like, I fucking love that shirt, man. And so did Jay, Jay Muse. But that's all we have for this episode. Thanks as always, and we'll see you next year. Oh, if only I could find the fucking outro.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.